The following video is a refresher on how to set up graphing linear inequalities using boundaries. And there are two types of boundary lines we use. The first is a dashed line, which is used if we have y is less than, we have our slope-intercept form, or it's used if y is greater than our slope-intercept form. The reason why we use a dashed line is because less than and greater than does not include those values. They're not equal to, so it does not include them. We use a solid line for y being less than or equal to, or for y being greater than or equal to, because they do include those values. So they're included. And so I have the picture here, an image from a SparkNotes website over graphing linear inequalities, and it's a good image to kind of refresh our memory. We know how to graph equals. A solid line, we have a y-intercept and a slope, and we go up and over, up and over. If we were to take this image and look at all four of these inequality graphs, they have the same y-intercept, they have the same slope, so to set them up is exactly the same. Plot the y-intercept and then use the slope to find the other points. It's just we notice when y is greater than and when y is less than, we're using a dashed line. And when we have y being less than or equal to, or we have y being greater than or equal to, we have a solid line. And we can also notice here that there's shading, which we do not have for an equals. And so we're also going to start shading. When y is greater than, you're going to shade upwards. And the reason why is because you're shading towards all the greater y values. You're shading up towards those values. When y is less than, where are your lesser y values? They're down on the y-axis. So you're going to shade towards all the downward y values, all the lesser y values. Same thing, y is less than. Here's where all your lesser y values are, so you go down towards those. Y being greater than, your greater y values are up in this area on the y-axis, so you shade up towards that area on the y-axis. So we're also going to have to start shading our graphs as well, and that's the part we need to make sure we can focus on and understand why we shade in certain regions on linear inequalities. The dashed line and the solid line should just be a refresher from Algebra 1. So if you understand these concepts, then we can move on to our examples.